Hello and welcome back to Leeds United for another season here at Ellen Road. You may recall at the end of last season we had 80 million transfer budget, but the back balance wasn't quite there. Turns out the end of season prize money hadn't been put in that yet, so we did actually have £80 million to spend, and I've actually made a profit. We'll start with the outbound transfers first, and just a reminder, Platinum went on a free, and also Nathan Phillips' £1.1 million loan to buy has finally gone through as well, so those two have gone permanently now, as has Stuart McKinstry. Just fringe players, homegrown fringe players that have been around, and I've registered in European competitions just because I could, but I never used them, so I figured I'd cash in whilst they still had time on their contracts. I think both this player and the next player had 1 year left on their contract, and we sold them both for £9 million. Stuart McKinstry, I don't understand his star rating or his value. I really don't. There's nothing on his pros or cons that says what level he plays at or should be playing at. I don't think he's good at all. If I looked at those attributes, I thought, well, he's pacey enough, might sneak into a championship team. He's gone to Championship Brighton for £9 million, so we'll see how that works out. But the other one's Sam Greenwood, who does appear to at least be his value of £9 million at Feyenoord, and I would argue is a better player, even though his star rating is worse. I don't understand it. We'll move on. But £18 million for those two, we'll take, especially as we've taken losses on Pavlovic, who we signed for £18 million and then sold to 10.5 to Sevilla. It's a slight bargain for them, but nobody else was biting, and he was 7th of 7 in the pecking order. Similarly, we made a minor loss on Asprilla. His potential, at the very least, has cut down a bit as well, so I don't feel as bad about this one anymore. I think if we'd had him and played him, and we had a formation that actually used him, there is a dynamic potential in this year's game. I don't know how much that's factored into that, but £11 million. It's only £2.5 million loss. Didn't really factor into our plans anymore, and hasn't for a while. He joins a baffling amount of former players in Mexico. And on that note, I'll actually do the highest sale so far in the form of Mark Rocker. That's £20 million. Leeds only bought him for 12 and a bit, so good job there. Again, a similar kind of deal. He was sort of 5th choice out of 5 central midfielders, possibly more than that actually, but he was the last in that line of midfielders. Has no pace, 9 pace, 11 acceleration. His natural fitness isn't great. I mean, he's 28. You can add a few more years in him, but I just don't think he's up to the speed of the Premier League, quite frankly. A decent servant, though, was relatively ever-present in those first 2 seasons, just very much fell down the pecking order last year. And similar to Asprilla, of course, is Sinistero, whose position doesn't exist in our team anymore. Wolves loaned him last year. They played him a reasonable amount. They bought him this year for £14.5 million. Probably a bit of a bargain, but oh well. And the only remaining sale to mention is Rasmus Christensen, who I've left till last for strategic reasons, not for value reasons. He was only sold for £14.25 million. I think he only had a year left on his contract, so that was part of the reason why I considered it in the end. But the right wing-back position was a position that gave me a bit of thought over this transfer window once this offer for Christensen came in. And I figured it was about time I had to do something about the right-back position as well. Because Christensen was a solid 2.5-star backup in not just that position, but kind of across the board a little bit as well. Could cover other positions. But at the same time, Livermento's 2.5 stars with a bit of potential. So he starts ahead of him. So do I get someone younger? So do I get someone even younger than Livermento to play backup and develop? Or do I get someone better than Livermento and start him ahead of Livermento? Tried both. You'll find out which one worked out in the moment. But we start our ends with a free transfer of Joel Linton at the end of his stint at Newcastle, left on a free, and I thought, you know what? This will allow Mark Rocker. This will 100% allow Mark Rocker to go. He is a better Mark Rocker, in my opinion, by half a star, pretty much. Just a tiny bit pacier, but his mentals are better, his tackling's better, his stamina's better. Don't know why his natural fitness is only 12. He much improved, Joel Linton, and I suspect he'll improve even more in the January update. Obviously deals with the box-to-box midfielder quite nicely, along with covering striker roles if necessary. 20-odd million if we decide to sell him. It felt sensible. This isn't the answer to the question of what we're doing with right wing-back. I had this deal sort of in the works just in case any other deal didn't come through for the right wing-back position, because he is 2 stars, he does have some potential, and it was only 6 and a bit million from Velez, nearly 7. Will be a profit if we decided to sell him immediately, but like I say, he does have a bit of potential. He's not going to play. He's going to go into under 21s and hopefully get a homegrown club in 3 years' time if we're still here then and doing videos for then. I doubt it. But we'll move to central defence next, and I did say I was considering central defenders and goalkeepers. I've not done anything on the goalkeeper front. I've decided to stick with Carnesecchi for the time being, because any goalkeeper that's actually an improvement on him doesn't want to join. But Milenkovic, who surprisingly hasn't moved from Fiorentina, and a player that I've surprisingly never used myself yet, always tends to end up at big clubs, I've noticed in previous saves, was still available at Fiorentina. people were finally interested in signing him, so I thought I'd beat them to the punch. And at 22 million up front, 4 million add-ons for 50 games, we've got a 3.5-star left-footed defender in Evan Ndicka, and we've got a 3.5-star right-footed defender in Milenkovic. 6'5", 17 jumping reach to boot as well. Offensive presence at set pieces. And then the big gamble. Last transfer fee does say 60 million. It is 11 million add-ons if necessary, but 49 million pounds up front for a right-back wonderkid. Something that was vastly lacking in previous year's games is wonderkid fullbacks, like proper wonderkid fullbacks to the level of, your Alphonso Davies, etc. Frankfurt had one, and the second he turned 18, he was interested in joining us. Still had no desire to join us before the age of 18, but would join on loan. That thing is still a thing in this year's game. If you ever get that, just wait till the day they turn 18 and try again. Because literally on his 18th birthday, which was in August, only a couple of weeks ago, he agreed to join for 49 million pounds up front and 42 grand a week. It's a bit of a gamble. He is only 2 stars right now, and he does need to learn right rim back. But he does have a reasonable amount of versatility as well, and he does have the same crossing attribute as Christensen, so we've not really lost anything in that regard. Does need to work on his overall attributes, but he's there to develop. And his value being more than 60 million baseline gives me a good indication that we've actually done a good thing. And that's it. We did win our opening game against West Ham. I'm bringing you both Manchester City and Arsenal because they're obviously the two big teams and the deadline day will be directly afterwards. Eagle Eye viewers will notice they've actually finally decided to do updated kits for this one. Leeds are a little bit tricky just because their badge isn't kind of the accurate one for the kit. But I figured we're jetting around Europe quite a lot lately. I'll change the sponsor to something accurate. But it's Manchester City away, Arsenal at home, Liverpool have won 2 from 2, and they beat Man United again. And the unfortunate news is Karnasecchi's injured for 2 days. He'll be able to play in the next one, but yeah, minor problem for Manchester City here is that we are having to play the goalkeeper that's let in every shot on target he's ever faced, pretty much. But the rest of it will be full strength. I'm using Ndicka in the middle now, and I'm trying wide centre-backs to see if that does anything. Strike, Ndicka, Milenkovic, Ord, Livramento, Szoboszlai. Almada has emerged as the best roaming playmaker in our team. Awar has been relegated to the bench. Makoko, Pedro and Gomez as a front three. It's nice to have them back. Milenkovic is looking forward to his battle with Phil Foden, apparently. I'm not. Manchester City actually lost their opening game to Tycoon Everton. Okay, our first away game of the season could not be a tougher test if it tried. Both playing in our home kit, somewhat surprisingly, I guess, but I suppose our white kit isn't that close to their sky blue. Rico Lewis playing. Is their right back? Is Walker playing as their left back? Milenkovic tries to clear this. I'll have to look at their formation properly in a moment. What is Livramento doing? That is sort of semi-cleared. I don't like this. Bernardo with a chance? What just happened? What just happened there? We'll watch this again, properly. I thought this was going to be cleared. I thought that was like a really good block or something, and that was the highlight. But once again, FM doing FM things and working as a perfectly flawless representation of the beautiful game there. You can see, by the way, if I actually get off a highlight again, Arsenal have scored. They're 1-0 up. Their goal scorer is just one Karim Adeyemi. And, Mama's actually made a save there. Yeah. So after Dortmund beat us in the Europa League final, spoilers, Arsenal bought their main player, other than Bellingham, I suppose, their second main player, and then Bielsa retired. Job done. I'll be honest, 1-0's all right, but it's a nonsense 1-0 is my pain there. Well, 1-0 down isn't encouraged, but Milenkovic, of all people, has taken that deep free kick. I don't know why. He's not been instructed to do that. De Bruyne, in all of the space in the world. Bernardo Silva. And Dick on a yellow card tackled Haaland there, somewhat forcefully, and I was concerned Rico Lewis is playing left back that answered that question. De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva's clean through. Missed. Now the shout will go through. Everton appeared to require Patrick Schick as well, which is interesting because striker wasn't something they needed with Raul de Thomas already there. I should say the 3 promoted teams were West Brom, I want to say Forest and someone else. I'll double check at the table because Norwich survived. Milenkovic booked and he's just done a nice little tackle there. Ball through to Livramento. As soon as I see the table, I'll remember who's come back up again. It was someone who's gone down previously. Pedro converts the equaliser. I should be excited by this. Livramento playing where he should be playing. It's nice to see them actually get up the pitch like that and do the cross I want them to do. It's nice to see those wingbacks actually playing wingback for a change. If I could see the table for more than a split second between highlights, that would be great. As we're on the 48th minute now. We've had 2 highlights in this second half already. What is going on? Bernardo Silva's clean through. Edison, of all people, just hoofed that over in the least Guardiola. It's not Guardiola in charge anymore, is it? That might explain that. Manchester City and Route 1 football. Never thought I'd see the day. Gomez, lovely take there, but has been smothered. Armada. Pedro gets in the... Sorry, I think he's offside, but how does he get to that ball? It's a ridiculous assist. That probably won't count. It is counting. It's a ridiculous assist. Is it Almada? It is Almada. That is a mad assist. I watched a compilation because I think it's his birthday recently of Guti's assists. That reminded me of an Guti assist. Unbelievable work there. Their number 16 absolutely mudded Laporte, I suspect. West Brom, Forest and Crystal Palace, they're the three that came up. So 4 years in, the only two changes to the Premier League as things stand are Norwich and West Brom this season versus Brighton and Southampton. But Norwich have been up for 2 seasons, West Brom's first, I think, since the save began. Mamo plays it short, semi-dangerously. Livramento in a bit of space. Livramento keeps finding a bit of space here. Maxi Gomez to run into the space even ahead of him. And Pedro, that was easier to score than miss. Good save by Ederson, I think. That will go down as. I love the fact that Ederson's let 2 out of 3 shots in that have been on target, and he's got the same rating as Mama. Szoboszlai, he's made another save there. maybe Ederson's 7 rating was preempting that. Highlight hasn't ended, and Ederson's gone Route 1 again. Oh, strike with a terrible header has let Haaland in, and it's an equaliser. What is he doing? Please, Sports Interactive, can we please remove the defender's desire to always try and head the ball to someone on their team? Just every now and then, let them attempt to try and take the ball down themselves. You never ever see the defenders take the ball down with their feet and try to pass it off normally, like a normal human being. They always have to try and head the ball either forwards or sideways, and it never works. Nekateri on for Makoko, who's not had a good game. Ward's not playing superbly well. Skov on. Livramento is playing well, but he's now knackered. He's run himself into the ground, so Detlev on. Same with Szoboszlai for Adams. Milenkovic nervous and Dicker apprehensive, both on bookings. I'm bringing Colwell on, and Strike moves to the middle. I think they've had an injury. Yes, they've had an injury to Rico Lewis, so they are a little bit vulnerable. If we can encourage, we'll take a draw at the Etihad, quite frankly, as they're playing Bowen as a right back. They've bought Jared Bowen, and the actual dangerous Milenkovic has a chance in the dying embers there, but yeah, had to do the last 10 minutes with 10 men there, did Man City, but we didn't capitalise. Just say I have done most of the kits at this point for the Premier League. You're not going to see any of the teams I don't think I've done yet. Forest win their game against West Brom. Arsenal pegged back. And we have to pay Leipzig 5 million for that game because of Szoboszlai. Right then, the Arsenal game's rolled around and Liverpool looking dominant again. Great. 4-0, 3 wins from 3. This might genuinely be the first beta save to go past 4 seasons in a while. At the same time, we're only playing once a week, so I don't really feel the need to change the lineup, except, of course, bring our best goalkeeper back in. There we are. Early chance for us, although it's headed clear to Smith Rowe, and I'm now terrified. As the Smith Rowe versus 2 defenders, fine sack on this right-hand side has been sort of covered off by our defender there. Thwacked across to Smith Rowe, not intercepted. Zinchenko's in all of the space. Thought he was about to be fouled. Well, apparently our best goalkeeper not covering himself in glory. Maybe Mama's actually sorted himself out and is a capable goalkeeper, and we can replace Karnasetchi with him now. Oh God, why? Why does this happen? Just falls over. I don't like that. I don't like it. Ramsdale rolls it out to White. Singo on this right-hand side. Can we dispossess them? That would be lovely. So far, not so good. One of the many Espositos at Arsenal there. Saka, Adeyemi clean through, does exactly what he's saying. Did we learn nothing from the Dortmund match? I mean, that one is more symptomatic of the match engine just being hoofed through the middle, but it's just it's just infuriating. Strike and Dicker. Dominic finds Livramento on the right-hand side. That's Gomez played in. Gomez, if you can square it. Ord, take over, please. I'm not quite sure where my striker was on that side of the pitch. Never mind. Highlight over. Ramsdale plays it short to Saliba. Saliba to Zinchenko. Odegaard. Neves. Zinchenko again. Smith Rowe. Odegaard. Doesn't make his way through Adeyemi that time because they did it across the ground. Karnasetchi. Strike. Terrible. Thankfully, they missed from their resulting chance. Singo. Odegaard. Dispossessed by Dominic, but they just get the ball back straight away because Football Manager. Livramento gets the ball back though this time, and this time it does get to Makoko. Oh, lovely ball to Gomez. The fact he doesn't even hit the target tells me everything I need to know about this match. Apparently we've had 4 shots on target. I haven't seen any of them yet. overall statistics tell me we're not actually playing that badly. But Odegaard and Dicker cleared as far as Esposito. No one bothers to really run out of that penalty box to try and do anything about the players on the round the edge of it. I swear to God, this game. Sort it out defensively, please. There is no defensive intelligence in this year's match engine. It is ridiculous. Tierney to White. I think Tierney's come on. Ramsdale. Zinchenko. Esposito. Armada here. Armada versus Odegaard concerns me. Dominic's got Neves sort of sorted there. And Gomez is on Esposito. Livramento should have Smith Rowe, but I suspect Livramento's running away again like he did in the Dortmund game. Or whatever game it was. Yep, just completely buggers off. And now Smith Rowe. It's not even Livramento who got that ball. I'm not even sure what Livramento does defensively. Just runs away from people. Gomez, though, on the offense. Pedro can't miss. Thank God. At least offensively, the tactic's working. Just need to cut out the... Well, I say I need to cut out the defensive errors. I can't do really much about that. They are majority engine-based, but Pedro, lovely finish. Lovely goal. Offensively, that's exactly how that works. I mean, it's 65 minutes on the clock, and apparently Armada and Dominic have given everything they can give. Doesn't fill me with a great amount of confidence, that. Adams and now are on. Dominic, from the kickoff, has got the ball. I don't really know how. Gomez will get on the end of that through ball. That's weird. Okay, well, Zinchenko really shouldn't have scored the goal he got, and Gomez really shouldn't have scored that goal either. So we're on 1-1 on that respect, and one good goal's cancelled out the AI overpowered through ball nonsense. So we're all square again. Yeah, bring those two players on because those two are absolutely knackered. Odegaard. This year's game very much does feel like a we need to score more than they get kind of game. Jesus is on. Jesus is on. Tierney, far side. No one bothers to tackle him. Thank God he misses. Utter madness. Milenkovic has gone from a 6.3 to a 7 in this game, by the way. Don't know how. Makoko, Pedro, not going to get on the end of that in a month of Sundays. Saka, Esposito, Jesus. I will say his name in 90 different ways over the course of the time he's going to be on this pitch. Livramento does have options to his left. Milenkovic, Aouar, finds Adams. Adams, literally a man directly in front of you there. Makoko finds Pedro. I don't know how. And dear Lord, we've turned it around. It's being pulled back for question marks of offside. Last time I thought he was off and he was on. This time he is on, and I thought he was on. I didn't think he was offside there, mostly because of Zinchenko, actually. Pedro rounding the goalkeeper, you'd love to see it. Maxi Gomez on a 9.1, having one of those games where he does things, which I don't fully understand. I know he's got one assist, but... Oh, he scored as well, of course he has. I forgot about his ridiculous goal. Both fullbacks actually not playing well. Skov and Gottschling will come on here. And whilst Makoko's on an 8.2, he is the most tired. Gomez is actually probably the most tired. In fact, the first one to tip under. Yeah, Nekatir against his former team. I know he's on a 9.3, but he is the most tired of the three. Off you pop. And now I praise, I think, because we're 3-2 up. Although they didn't seem to like it. That should get cut out by Strike, but he just gives it to... Why? I'm glad they didn't score from that, because I would have been furious. That was match engine nonsense right there. Well, they're keeping me on my toes in this game. Gottschling with a throw-in, plays it safely to Nekatir. Aouar dodges one tackle. Tries a ridiculous pass and fails. Saka now with the ability to run. There's not really much on the way. I mean, there is if they do that. It looked like it was being pulled back for a question mark of offside, and it has been. That was weird. The goal stayed on the scoreline for about 2 minutes of actual game time there before it got wiped out, before that corner highlight, which Karnasec is claimed rather authoritatively, and it's just gone straight to Pedro, who might have been offside. Saliba's fouled him. I think this is just being knocked into the end of the game highlight. Tierney's been yellow carded, don't know why. It was Saliba who fouled him. Oh, for a different foul, further back. Skov to put this ball into the box. I mean, pretty much nailed on the victory here just because there's no time remaining. Yeah, Adeyemi was miles off. We were 2-0 down at half time. I finally got the achievement! In a less stressful manner would be nice next time, although, look, quite frankly, that achievement requires you to have a certain amount of stress, right? Maxi, I don't really know what you do in total because... You know, some people scored 2 goals in that game and didn't get a 9.3. But still, I'm not actually going to do deadline day. I'm not really expecting anything. If something comes my way or if we end up selling someone for big money, then obviously I'll let you know. The Champions League games haven't come in yet because there's one layover game, I think. I mean, Pedro with a flying start, I now realise, 5 goals in the first 3 games. But there's one game whose first leg happened when everyone else had their second leg. So because of that one game, we've not got the Champions League draw yet, which is annoying. I will bring you back at the first good game. I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. It'll be a surprise to everyone. But if you enjoyed this, and if you can deal with the stress better than I can, do give it a like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, ta-ra.